I have nothing against religion. Having religious beliefs is fine. A lot of good works have been done in the name of religion, like helping those in need, but it can also be perverted into something that leads to hatred and ignorance. John Allen Chau was a Christian who felt it was his mission in life to spread the word of God around the world. He felt it was his mission to convert the people of North Sentinel Island. He was warned many times not to go there, and he was aware of the danger that he would be facing, but he didn't listen, and his hubris would be his downfall. John Allen Chau was born December 18, 1991 in Scottsboro, Alabama. He was the youngest child of 3 born to Linda Adams Chau, an organizer for Chi Alpha, a Christian fellowship group on college campuses, and Patrick Chau, a Chinese-American psychiatrist who left China during the Cultural Revolution. He was an avid outdoorsman, enjoying hiking, camping, and traveling. He became interested in missionary work at a young age. He went to Oral Roberts University in Oklahoma. Prior to his fateful trip, he had done missions in Mexico, Iraq, Kurdistan, and South Africa. He even did a missionary trip to the Andaman Islands. In 2017, he went to a boot camp in Kansas City for the missionary group All Nations. As a part of the group, he was trained to talk to tribes and locals by the way of mock tribes that All Nations would make. During this time, he made the decision to go to North Sentinel Island, feeling it was his calling to bring God to the Sentinelese. After passing through the boot camp, Chau made his way to Port Blair, the capital city of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, to prepare for his journey to North Sentinel Island. Located in the Bay of Bengal, the island is a part of the Andaman Islands archipelago. The island lies 22 miles from South Andaman Island. The island is 23.4 square miles and is almost a square outline. The island is surrounded by coral reefs and have no natural man-made harbors. The beach that surrounds it is a white sand beach. The island is largely covered in tropical and subtropical moist broadleaf forest. Due to the lack of expeditions to the island to study its flora and fauna, that is the extent of what we know of the island. The reason for this is the island is off limits by order of the Indian government. This is to protect the people living on the island and to protect the people who want to travel to the island from the people that are living there. The Sentinelese are a dark-skinned people whose average height is between 5'3" and 5'5" tall. Their teeth are well aligned and their bodies are muscular. It is believed that insular dwarfism is the cause of their height, as they show very little signs of malnutrition. They are hunter-gatherers whose exact population numbers is unknown. The last survey done in 2016 estimated that there was between 100 to 150 Sentinelese living on the island. They use bows and arrows, do not practice agriculture, and have been theorized to have not evolved past the Stone Age. They are one of the 6 reclusive indigenous populations of the Andaman Islands. The others are the Great Andanese, the Jarawas, the Onge, the Shompen, and the Necrobaris, and I know I probably butchered those names. The funny thing is that the Sentinelese language does not overlap with these other tribes, and unlike the other tribes, the Sentinelese have consistently refused contact with the outside world. They have been known to be hostile to anyone who steps foot on the island, going as far as to shoot even helicopters that patrol the skies. In order to give a more broader picture of the dangers John Allen Chau faced, I am going to do some brief history. In 1771, an East India Company vessel called the Diligent observed a multitude of lights coming upon the shore of North Sentinel Island. This is the first recorded mention of the island. The crew did not investigate. In October of 1867, the ship Nineveh ran aground on a coral reef. The passengers made it to shore, only to be attacked. They were able to fend off the Sentinelese with rocks and sticks. In 1880, Royal Navy officer Maurice Vidal Portman attempted to contact the Sentinelese, which he ended up capturing an elderly man, a woman, and 4 children. They would all get sick. The elderly man died, then the woman, then the children all became sick. Portman would send the children back to the island with gifts, but because they were sick, illness spread. This is the main reason for the Sentinelese's hostility towards the outside world. On August 2nd, 1981, the MV Penrose ran aground on the island. 50 armed Sentinelese attempted to raid the ship, but due to the weather and the ship's hull, they did little damage. The crew was rescued by helicopter. In 1991, one of the first instances of contacts happened when on January 4th, the Indian government visited. The Sentinelese approached the party without weapons and were given coconuts. In 1997, contact was cut off by the Indian government and they labeled the island as off-limits. The islanders have no immunity to diseases that we normally live through and are hostile towards outsiders, so there was a good reason to stop contact altogether. John Chau's mission was simple. As stated before, John Allen Chau was trained and sent by the Christian missionary group All Nations with the aim of converting and living with the Sentinelese people. His hopes was to convert them to Christianity. To prepare, he vaccinated and quarantined for 2 weeks. Insert your own COVID-19 joke here. Then he set out on his journey. He did not get the proper permits to go to the island. He bribed local fishermen to get him as close to the island as they could. He knew the dangers he faced, but he still expressed a desire to do it anyways, writing in his journal, "Lord, is this island Satan's last stronghold, where none have heard or even had a chance to hear your name? The eternal lives of the tribe is at hand. I think it's worthwhile to declare Jesus to these people. Please do not be angry at them or at God if I get killed. Don't retrieve my body." On November 15, 2018, Chau attempted his first contact with the tribe. The fishermen brought their boat within 2,300 feet of the shore. From there, Chau got into a canoe. The fishermen warned him not to go any further, but he didn't listen to them. Instead, he canoed towards the shore with a waterproof Bible and some gifts. As he approached, he attempted communication with the islanders. After a hostile response, he retreated. On another visit, the islanders reacted to him with a mixture of amusement and hostility. When he tried to speak Xhosa, the name of a language I am definitely butchering, they fell silent. Other attempts garnered laughter and mocking of Chau, all culminating in Chau retreating again after a boy shot an iron-tipped arrow at him. Luckily, it hit the Bible that Chau had in his breast pocket. On November 17, 2018, Chau ordered the fishermen to leave without him. He would try one last time. What killed him is unknown. What is known is he made it to shore, but the fishermen were only able to see the Sentinelese dragging Chau's body onto the shore. There were efforts to retrieve the body, but they led to clashes with the tribe. After some time, it was agreed that the body should be left there. John Allen Chau is buried on the beach in North Sentinel Island.
Now to the new details that we're learning about the last days of that American missionary who was murdered on a remote Indian island. The 26-year-old dying at the hands of natives who were armed with bows and arrows.
An American missionary who loved the outdoors, John Allen Chau often documented his adventures on Instagram. But these photos would be his last.
This was a journey American missionary John Chau was warned against taking.
The Indian authorities opened an investigation into his death and the fishermen were arrested for helping him get on the island. There was no one ever charged with his death and the killers were labeled as unknown individuals. This is because the Indian government wasn't going to charge the Sentinelese for the murder and the fishermen were only responsible for helping Chau trespass on the island. Many groups, including Survival International, have criticized Chau's actions, feeling that he could have brought pathogens onto the island that would destroy the population of the island. The response to his death was mixed. Some, like Survival International, criticized him for his actions that led to his death.
The global response to John Allen Chau's death was stern, not toward the murderers, but toward the murdered. And there are 3 primary objections that are raised. There are more, but these are the main ones.
Some worried this death as affirmation of the cause to lift up people that they were considered to be savage and primitive. Others weren't so sure how to react to it.
People are talking about this story, and I've been hesitating to do so because I'm just not sure that he's the right guy to use to be talking about the wisdom or the lack of wisdom of missionary activity. There is a way to approach this and do this.
I don't judge religion or religious people personally. I have no issue with somebody who chooses to believe in a higher power. With that said, I do judge people by their actions. Whether faith-based or not, actions have consequences. John Allen Chau broke laws. He didn't listen to anyone around him telling him his mission wasn't a good idea. Instead, he went out of his way to follow what he felt he needed to do. I admire the bravery of him doing such actions, but I also feel that he was ignorant in the consequences of his actions. He could have been arrested. He put the fishermen in danger. He put the Sentinelese in danger. He considered the island the last den of Satan, all because they had a culture and lived a life that he didn't understand. But whether you find him brave for his actions or a foolish man on a quest that couldn't end well for him, he lost his life for his faith, and I hope his soul is resting in peace.